Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Danger 5 GMO achievement run, where we are going to take the Genetically Modified Overkill mod and play some of the cool, unique combos that the developer included in the mod that unlock specific weapons and items for use with the mod as well. Next up on the list, we have Crazy and Jack. So this, I think, naturally lends itself to a knife build. I think knives are already very good for Jack, and Crazy, of course, gets huge bonuses with precise weapons. It starts with a knife, so we'll probably do that, but I'll see if there's something else that I'm interested in doing as well. So let's give that a try. We need Crazy, that's here, and Jack is down here. And so we start with a knife, we have additional attack speed with precise weapons, and obviously there's fewer enemies on the field, but they're worth more money. So that's going to be an interesting combination. And I'm noticing that there is this Pitchfork, which is one of the weapons that we unlocked. In fact, we just unlocked it with the Demon and Gladiator combo, and this converts our materials into damage. It's a precise weapon, so it'll work with Crazy. I'm going to give this weapon a shot. So it's got 3% crit chance, which is interesting for a precise weapon. Usually they have, you can see like the Shuriken has 35%. They have high base crit chance. The Pitchfork has the crit chance of a non-precise weapon, so we'll have to actually build critical hit chance. Very slow attack speed, so we're going to need to build that. Similar to, and long attack range. So I think this will play out very similar to a spear, where you just want to build attack speed, and then we won't need to build percent damage because we're going to get that by just automatically converting our materials to it with the passive. It also scales only 75% with melee damage, but that's okay because it has the critical multiplier, so a lot of precise weapons work like that. I think this should be an interesting run. Let's see if we can make it work. Go to Danger 5, and we've got our knife and our Pitchfork, which we need to hit enemies with both of in order to actually kill them, since we're the Jack. Alright, as always on the Jack, it's difficult to kill trees. I don't know if we'll have the damage to do it. We did. I think it's usually worth it because you can still get a crate out of it, but the fact that you have to spend a lot of damage and the health is multiplied from the Jack passive, but the reward is not, is definitely a downside for trees on the Jack. For that reason, it's really important to get Lumberjack shirt if you can find it. Here, we're going to roll for damage. I think on Jack, in general, you just want to build damage rather than economy early. So we're just going to roll for anything that increases our damage. And like I said, I think attack speed is what we want more than anything else. I'm also going to immediately sell this knife so we can try to roll more pitchforks in the shop. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. If I don't roll enough pitchforks, that could be a problem. Oh wow, pitchfork is expensive. I didn't realize its base price would be this high. So we're only going to be able to have 2 weapons. Maybe I should have kept the knife. Nothing else here that I want to roll or want to lock. Let's roll again, and I will lock this Pitchfork and this Scar. Scar is going to be great on the Jack. Levels, of course, are really good. Also, just to remind you, we get extra range with our precise weapons, which is not actually great for a weapon that has long range already. And 25% attack speed, we lose dodge, and we can't use engineering or range damage effectively, but we wouldn't want to anyways. And the Jack gives us fewer enemies, but they have way more health and do more damage, and are worth more money. So we tend to want to build just pure damage output on the Jack. The Crazy's bonuses help a little with that. The dodge penalty does mean that we are going to really suffer defensively, though. Typically, dodge is the defensive stat that you want on the Jack, because the damage instances are so high. We won't have the damage to clear that tree, so I'm not even going to try. I could pick up harvesting, but I think in general you really just want to build attack damage on the Jack, so I'm just going to take the attack speed here. I will buy this Pitchfork and then roll for more Pitchforks, leaving the Scar locked. Roll again, roll again. Alright, well, Wheelbarrow I'm still going to buy. That's so much harvesting to get this early, so we'll pick that up. And I'd really like to roll into a Pitchfork. There we go. Having a little bit of trouble getting our weapon set online, which is a problem. On precise weapons, the critical hit chance is such an important component of your damage that we really need to get that maxed out as soon as possible. So now a little bit wishing I'd taken the harvesting, because that would mean that with the wheelbarrow we just found, we would have 21 harvesting. So that would, or I guess 22, because it would have grown by 1. So that would immediately get us to the extra harvesting mark, and in fact I am just going to take harvesting here. Normally not something I like to do on Jack builds, but since we found the wheelbarrow, I think it's worth it. And then here we're going to roll. I'm really looking for melee damage, but not finding it. I'll take some percent damage though. Even though we're going to build that automatically, it's still worth picking that up because it's a level 2 upgrade. And then I will get the wheelbarrow, and I think I'd rather have the pitchfork than the scar at this point. We're really struggling with wave clear, and I just bought an item that doesn't help at all and some stats that don't help at all. So we'll delay our scar for one more round in order to max out our weapon set as much as we can. Didn't bother to lock the luck there. Luck is a little worse on the Jack in general because there's just fewer enemies on the field to get consumables from, so you won't get crates as often and so on. And this build currently is really struggling for damage since I had, I've got the economy items. Obviously that was the right pick. You're still going to take the wheelbarrow there, but we now have to adjust our build a little bit because of that. Want to make sure I'm actually picking up all these materials, but given my very low HP, it's a little difficult to get in to pick up the materials, because if I took 2 hits there, I would just die. I'll take the fin. This will help a lot. We will probably use regen rather than lifesteal because we have a very slow attacking weapon, but fin is still excellent. And then 4 melee damage is huge for us. We really need flat damage because we're multiplying it with our attack speed, with the percent damage we'll be building from the pitchfork passive, and with our crit chance. So flat damage is really important. Even though the pitchfork only scales 75%, it's still very much worth picking that up. I will still take a tree, and we'll definitely lock Ugly Tooth, because that's really good for the Jack. It can help us survive against elites, and then still not rolling more pitchforks, which is very unfortunate, but at least we have some move speed now, so we can dodge more easily. I'm definitely worried that my damage is just not going to be high enough to kill the elites, and because you really want to be one-shotting elites in the late game, or in the mid game. On Jack, it's very important to just kill enemies as quickly as possible. Broke that tree, and trying to just clear. The bonus... I need to not take a hit for the rest of this wave, because I just tanked that one. Obviously, we are very much in danger of just dying immediately if I take too many hits, because we have 17 HP and the incoming damage instances are going to be like 10 now. 5% crit chance is great. That's just a big increase to our damage. And I will take 4 regen just to make sure that we're a little bit more likely to be capped. Take the Ugly Tooth and roll. Buy a pitchfork. That's great. We finally managed to cap out our weapon set. And then Weird Food is still good for regeneration. I will buy it. But now I need to roll into more weapons. I'm going to lock this beanie and then roll again because we are in wave 5, so we're guaranteed to see at least one weapon in the shop. And if that weapon is a pitchfork, it can be very helpful. I will say the fact that pitchfork is so expensive, just the base price of this weapon is so high, is a significant downside for this build. It's making it much harder to get our weapon set online and to get other items as well. We did get a fin, which solved a lot of our move speed issues, and a wheelbarrow, which gave us quite a lot of free economy, so we have had some things go right for this build as well, but the ridiculous amount of money that we've had to spend on just getting 6 weapons is really putting this build behind where we need to be. Try to break that tree and then come up here to collect the materials before the end of the wave. Would love to find a hunting trophy and stuff, obviously. Lots of materials on the ground as well, so I need to keep that in mind. And of course, we're converting materials to damage, which is good for us, but it means fewer items that we can buy. I'm going to recycle this book. While we will buy Fairy, and I often want unique items for Fairy if we happen to buy it, while we will buy Fairy if we see it, I think even the 5 materials here are just too valuable for us to ignore at this point. I'll take 7% damage for -2 HP, and then I think we're just taking 5% attack speed. We have negative luck, so I'm not that likely to roll into a level 2 upgrade, so I'm just picking up anything that increases our damage. I will take 2 armor to get back to positive, just so we don't get one shot. Take the pitchfork, and black belt I think I will take as well. That's a big XP increase as well as giving us melee damage, which we really badly need. Riposte is 2 melee damage for 77, so I think we will pass on that. We'll never have the dodge to actually trigger it, so I'm going to just focus on getting flat damage elsewhere. Pitchfork level 2 has a, let's see, we have 20%, so a 6% base crit chance. The critical multiplier doesn't go up. The base damage goes up from 7 to 14, so that's kind of nice. But the 75% melee damage doesn't increase. We also get a slightly faster attack, 0.05 seconds faster, and the conversion of materials does not increase at all. So a reasonable upgrade. I don't actually think it's like that important to upgrade these weapons. They don't seem to upgrade that incredibly, but we'll definitely try to get them all to at least level 2. I'm going to try to break these eggs. It's very difficult to kill the big slashers on the Jack typically, especially because we're a kind of low damage Jack build. So we just want to make sure that we're maintaining our income by leaving fewer enemies on the field. Break this tree, break this egg before it hatches. Alright, I didn't manage to break the egg before it hatched because I was killing the tree. That's alright though, as long as I don't tank a million slashes, we should be fine. And I'll just ignore the slasher. Didn't manage to kill that other one before it hatched either, so definitely under a little more pressure to dodge effectively at this stage, and we don't have the damage to kill that loot alien. Here, I'm going to take the crit chance. I could take the HP as well, but honestly we just need more damage at this stage, so crit chance it is. And then I'm gonna roll this. I would like flat melee damage if I can find that, but I guess I'll just take 5% more crit chance. We basically already have Weird Ghost because we're playing the Jack, so we just die in one hit to pretty much anything anyways, so it's pretty safe to take Weird Ghost here, or not more unsafe. We'll upgrade our weapons. Roll again, and Baby Gecko, we're actually leaving a lot of materials on the ground, so that's kind of interesting. I think I want the hedgehog, though, and the tree, and I don't think I'm going to spend on the Baby Gecko. I really just want to increase our damage. Alright, so I could definitely die here if I dodge badly like that. Almost died to that charger. So I need to be pretty careful about how I approach this wave because of the Weird Ghost, but honestly we would die in 2 hits anyways even without the Weird Ghost, so it's not actually making us that much more vulnerable. Typically you want on Jack to try to figure out which enemies you've already hit so that you can focus them down. This weapon is so long-ranged and such a slow attacking weapon that I'm not really able to do that, so I'm just kind of hoping that I'm hitting the same enemy enough times that they're dying. And just doing rotations through the map to try to kill the trees and everything. Alright, we got a crate. We're still making decent money. Tentacle is going to be very helpful. Obviously, it's increased damage, and the healing is useful. And then I'll take 4 melee damage. Even though we only multiply our melee damage at 0.75, the flat damage is really important. And we're multiplying it a lot because we have high attack speed, high % damage, high crit chance. So it's very much worth grabbing that. We'll still take the bag, even though we don't have high luck. It's still going to pay for itself pretty quickly. We'll take Pitchfork. Goat Skull does cost me crit chance, but I think is worth taking. We really need any % damage we can get, or any flat damage we can get, and I think I'll take Riposte for the same reason. It's very expensive, but we get a free reroll. And then I'll take the plant as well. Lock Pitchfork. I will not buy bait on this character, I don't think, because on the Jack, bait is very dangerous, so even though the % damage would be nice, I think we're just going to pass on the bait. We do have Scar and Black Belt going into Wave 9, so that's pretty nice. Sounds like one of my neighbors is mowing their lawn. I hope that's not coming through on the recording. Background filtering should hopefully get that, but if it comes through, then I will make sure to set up a filter after this wave when I can pause the game. We are clearing the trees pretty well, making a lot of money on wave 9. Again, I'm just kind of ignoring the loot aliens. If we you know, happen to kill it, then great, but I don't think it's worth it on Jack to spend a ton of attacks on the loot aliens, because they have so much health. We did get it, though, which is really nice. I've actually managed to build quite a lot of damage now because we've been focusing so aggressively on building damage, and as long as we don't get actually one-shot, then I'm okay just having relatively low HP. Still pretty weak income at this stage. We're never going to build dodge, so I will recycle the gambling token. Like, we're at minus 32% dodge. There's no chance we ever get that. And we'll level up our melee damage, and here I will take 9 max HP just to make sure we're not dying in one tap to the elite. Alright, I am going to just close my window in case that's coming through on the recording. And we are back, so let's take this Pitchfork. Dangerous Bunny, I think, is worth buying. It's going to pay for itself pretty quickly. We're now upgrading our Pitchforks pretty well. And then roll again here. I could take Propeller Hat, but with minus 16 luck, we're never getting enough luck to matter anyways. So I'd rather just get more items that actually help our clear speed. So we'll take that. I'm going to skip the Fertilizer. Not normally something I would do, but again, we just need damage. We need enough damage to kill the elite very quickly, so I'm trying to do that. All right, we'll take Pitchfork here. So Pitchfork level 3 goes up to 21 damage, so 7, 14, 21. The crit chance goes up to 9%, so again, just gains 3%. Yeah, it seems like they scale very linearly with levels, so it is worth leveling them up, but they don't seem to be critical to level up that much. Do I want this Wheelbarrow? I did pass on the Fertilizer, but Wheelbarrow is a lot of harvesting at this stage. I think we are going to skip it, though, because I really just need as much damage as I can get, so I'm just going to save my money here. Again, not something you're going to see me doing very often, but the Jack just plays out very differently than other characters. You just need to have enough damage to one-shot the elite as quickly as you possibly can. So we're really focusing not on economy, especially in sort of the mid-game, and just on having sheer glass cannon damage. This is, I think, with Pitchfork, a quite difficult run. With Knife, I think this would be a very easy run, because we'd just be playing Jack, but better. But this Pitchfork weapon seems to be not the strongest weapon in the game, so I think that it is making this run quite difficult. We could definitely still lose it. Oh, walked into that enemy. Gonna take one hit there on the right side, and then we're still leaving a lot of materials on the ground. I still can't afford to cap my max HP, so we do have to recycle the handcuffs here, and then I will take 9 HP just so we don't get one shot. We will level up our Pitchforks. Not gonna take the compass. Dusty Fedora is pretty interesting. So this increases the map size. This is another one of the GMO-only items. Increases the map size. We get luck when picking up consumables, so that could increase our luck. I do want to try this item at some point, but I just don't think we can afford to in this spot, because we just need... I'm very concerned about our damage, so I'm just going to roll for anything that increases our damage against the elite. Take that, and I'm even going to take the very inefficient riposte here just to get the actual maximum damage we could find in this shop, just to try to kill the elite very quickly. Instantly walking into an attack. This is one of the hardest elites for the Jack, I think, because it charges at you, and it's very hard not to take damage from this guy. I don't know that we're actually going to be able to burst it down. We are dealing damage to it, but because I took that early hit, yeah, and then another hit, I'm having to play very cautiously around it. Oop, okay. This is getting quite hairy now. Bad dodging by me has really put me in a bad situation here, so we're just going to have to try to survive. Normally, it's very important to just try to kill the elites on these waves, but because I walked right into those attacks early, we're just going to have to dodge around it. At least our clear speed on the little enemies is pretty good, so we're still able to do that effectively. And while we didn't make a lot of money that wave, we did manage to survive. I'll take the Lost Duck. Although luck is not important for this character, I think it's still worth grabbing. We'll take the melee damage here, and then, yeah, our damage is also just a little bit too low at this stage of the game. We'll take the speed. Here, I will take Gentle Alien. Excellent for the Jack, because it gives you obviously a lot of stats we want, but every enemy on the field is worth so much money. And Cute Monkey costs me a range damage, but gives me an alternate way of healing. We're currently struggling with healing as well, so I will buy that. Not going to buy the bait. I'm going to roll again. I will take Mastery. This is the kind of thing that I wish we had been able to find a little earlier. Mastery is just so good for this character. Alien Magic, we don't really care about our luck, and I'd still like to hit like 80 HP or so I'm going to grab that. Yeah, Mastery really took my damage up to the next level. We were critting for like 190 last wave, now we're critting for 250. But obviously the difficulty with the last wave was just me walking into that initial shot, so I had to play really cautiously during the first half of the wave, especially because we have very low healing on this character, and therefore I was not able to as effectively DPS down the elite. Sometimes when you mess up, it's going to snowball out into the rest of the wave, of course, so you do have to recognize when that happens and play accordingly. We still haven't found Lumberjack Shirt, but our damage is now high enough that we're able to clear the trees anyways. Knew I was going to take a hit there, but that's okay. Somehow found 3 crates with like negative 15 luck in this build. I will take the Garden, that just gives us some extra healing. Medical Turret I will take as well. We're not going to play around it that much, but just a little bit of passive healing is still useful. We'll recycle Snake. I'm going to take the 6 HP just because it's a level 2 upgrade. Oh, okay, well we're getting Mastery after Mastery now. And I will take Alien Magic. Do I want Alien Eyes? I don't think so. I think I want to just reroll here. Slower enemy move speed is also very helpful. We do have Ugly Tooth, which is part of why we survived that elite, so even slower enemies is very useful against elites. Scar we don't need, of course, because it's wave 12, and rerolls are starting to get pretty expensive. I have one weird food, right? So I could go down to 4 consumable healing to take the Alien Worm, and I think I actually will. Just because consumable healing, even with the Garden, is less valuable on this character than on most characters. And that's an efficient way to get me to 100 HP. Basically on Jack, you want to be able to survive 2 hits from like the final bosses and have enough healing to heal back up. Because in an ideal world, you will kill them before they can hit you more than twice, as your damage snowballs into the late game. This build is not snowballing its damage into the late game as effectively as I'd like, but the Pitchforks are definitely building a lot of percent damage, so as I continue to get attack speed, as I continue to get crit chance and flat damage, that will multiply out quite a lot. Having found multiple masteries over the last couple shops has increased our damage enormously, so that's been a big boost to this character. Plus, you can see we're now getting quite a lot of percentage damage every wave. We're up to 125%. I'm going to recycle this. We definitely don't want to decrease our move speed, but I will take 2 melee damage. And then here, I will take 7% crit chance. That's great. And 4 melee damage. Blindfold, while we are never going to use the dodge, honestly, 5% crit chance for 128 is still fine. And we are going into an elite wave, so I really want to have as much damage as possible. We will combine and get another Pitchfork. I should try combining to a level 4 Pitchfork just to see what the level 4 upgrade is also, so I might do that soon. I will buy the blindfold again, so now our crit chance is at 59% on the level 3 pitchforks, which is pretty nice. Do I want garden? Do I want baby gecko? Do I want terrified onion? I think I'm going to roll past all of these just looking for more damage of some kind, and we did indeed find a pitchfork, so that's good enough. Just because, again, I want to try to burst down the elite before it becomes a threat. So this elite, as a summoner, is one of the worst ones for Jack because all the summons have multiplied hit points, and we are on wave 14, so there's summons already on the field. This is definitely a dangerous enemy for us. I'm going to try to stay near it so that I can DPS it down. Once we got it out of its second stage and into its slow-moving third stage, we were able to kill it much more quickly. And that is how you would rather the fights go against the elite than the first one. Wave 14, still quite dangerous, especially because our attack range is so long, so it's quite difficult for me not to kill these summoners. There's just going to be a lot of goobers on the field, but we should be able to stay alive as long as I can just continue to pick up consumables and dodge reasonably well. Not that much income, but we ended up doing pretty well anyways. Alright, well, Lucky Coin just gives me 100 luck, so I guess I'll take it, rather than taking the perfect amount of recycling money. So suddenly we have a bunch of luck on this build, so sure. And yeah, Mushroom just gives me a little more healing, that's nice. Tardigrade is quite good for Jack in general. It's a way to just not die to one shot, so I will take the Tardigrade here. Bag will still pay for itself, especially because I just got 84 luck. Gambling token we're not going to pick up, and here I will buy... I kind of want all of this shop. Definitely want the Cyclops Worm. Even though we're building percent damage, it's still just a very efficient item. So I'm going to combine to a level 4 Pitchfork. This might be a mistake, but I just want to see what the stats of the level 4 Pitchforks are. So this has 35, so it goes from 21 to 35 base damage, so it gets plus 14. That's quite a lot. The cooldown only goes down by 0.5, and the conversion ratio doesn't change. So yeah, it's not really worth getting to the level 4s. I'd rather have multiple level 3s, but I was just doing that for science. And I will still take the Lumberjack shirt. It can speed up our clear speed on trees, which can be very helpful. There might be a stat upgrade I'm missing, but the conversion ratio doesn't change, and the attack speed of the weapon doesn't change that much, so those are kind of the important things on this weapon. I don't think it's giving me that much to go to higher levels. Lost my tardigrade there, but that's fine. Now we're getting a lot of crates, which is making these bags even better because we got the lucky coin. I do need to pick up some armor, since I got -2 armor from the lucky coin. You typically don't need to build a lot of armor on Jack, just because the damage instances are so high that you'd rather just focus on max HP so you don't just get one shot. Armor's often good when you're taking consistent sustained damage, but it's still pretty nice to get a little bit of armor. Like, negative armor is really dangerous. I could cap at 75 max HP. That would probably be fine, but is it worth 8 melee damage? I think I'd rather just have the option to go to higher HP, and I will take the acid as well, and then we'll take the health here, and that way we're just much less likely to die randomly. I'll take the damage here. Vigilante Ring will not pay for itself. It's 3% damage, but our materials are getting converted to damage already, so I don't think Vigilante Ring is worth buying. Cyclops Worm, I think, is, though, because... So, this is the same amount of damage, right? We would tick at the end of wave 16, 17, 18, 19 with the Vigilante Ring. Cyclops Worm is also 12% damage, and decreases our attack range, which is actually good for this character. Upgrade our weapons some more, and then keep rolling, and upgrade our weapons some more, and keep rolling. Wings... my move speed could definitely use a boost, so I will buy the wings. Even though it increases our range, I think it's worth doing. Then I'm going to roll once here just to try to get something else that helps. And I will take the Insanity and lock the Blindfold. We can still just use as much crit chance as we can get, because the crit chance, even on the level 4 Pitchfork, is the base crit chance is not very high. Definitely a downside of this weapon that you have to actually manually build all your critical hit chance. It is really fun to try these weapons and class combos that I haven't played before. I think it's easy to underestimate the role that like experience and heuristics and habit play in this kind of game. Part of why I'm like good at Brotato is I've developed heuristics for playing the game. But when you're playing a totally new class combination or weapon, some of your heuristics are going to be wrong, and you have to develop them again from the ground up. So I think it's pretty interesting to get to do that, and hopefully to watch me do that. Baby Elephant. So Cyberball is bad on the Jack because that queues off of enemy deaths. Baby Elephant is good because it queues off of material pickup. So while it's slightly worse for the Jack than other characters, it's still just a good item. And then here we'll take the crit chance over the HP. And buy this, this, and this, and then roll. And yeah, I guess I'll keep buying trees. That seems fine. Black Belt is just 3 melee damage, so I don't think we're gonna buy that. Once you get to the late game on this character and the percent damage has started stacking up really high, it stops being that challenging. Although, of course, we're the Jack, so we can still just die, and we have like almost no defensive stats because we're the Crazy, so we weren't able to build dodge. I definitely need to get some armor, because we have negative armor right now, which is super dangerous. Any armor I can find would be great. Also, even this late hunting trophy would still be excellent, even on the Jack. It's obviously worse on the Jack because there's fewer items, but hunting trophy is just so good for precise builds. A little disappointed that we haven't found one, because that's one of the things that makes precise builds so powerful and fun. I'm feeling good about the decision to not buy the handcuffs there and cap my HP, because I think 90 HP just feels a lot safer. Missile, I'm going to recycle. The 4% attack speed is more valuable than the 10% damage, because our attack speed is 60 and our damage is 218. Lure, I will take. Shackles here. I can afford to cap my move speed, but I don't think I actually want the 80 range. I think that will decrease my damage too much, and the regeneration I don't care about that much. We'll take 9% crit chance. That's perfect. And then here, I'm going to roll past all this. All of these are items I could consider, but none of them are super good for us, and I'd rather find things that really improve our character, like Pitchfork and like Mastery. Again, we're just looking to max out damage going into the elite fight. Sad Tomato's kind of interesting. Because we have Tardigrade, it doesn't really matter that we start at low HP. So I might take that. Definitely taking Charcoal. And yeah, I can afford the Sad Tomato, so I'll take that. I think people get stuck on Sad Tomato. Oh, well, Giant's Belt would have been really nice to have earlier. But I think people get confused by Sad Tomato because... you know, we're basically taking 45 damage to get 8 regeneration, and that will not pay for itself over the course of the wave. But the way that regeneration works is you want to be able to heal up to full in-between damage instances, so you just want a lot of regeneration. It doesn't matter if it's less total health, because the healing that we're going to get at the beginning of the wave from consumables or the regeneration that we have is free. It doesn't come off of damage that we're actually worried about taking. So that the initial damage doesn't matter. I often see people saying, like, why do you take Sad Tomato? It just decreases your total health that wave. But it's more about the speed of healing than the total health that you have. Bag, I think I will probably get 4 crates. I guess I need 5 crates, but I think it's still worth grabbing the bag here. And then we need to burst down this elite as quickly as we can. I did take the Tardigrade hit, so I do have to be careful. This is, again, a pretty difficult elite. I feel like we've gotten a lot of the harder elites for the Jack. Trying to pick up consumables while I DPS it down. Because this one charges at us, so it's relatively hard to dodge, and because we're a melee build, trying to stay near it is tough. But we were able to clear it. Nice, killed that loot alien. Oh yeah, I forgot I had the lure too. So the bag obviously was going to get 30 materials just off the lure. So it definitely was worth buying. I think that was this wave. Maybe it was last wave. Yeah, no, it was this wave. Yeah, so bag has already more than paid for itself because of our very high luck and, of course, the amount of damage that we got. All right, here we go. We get to get back to positive armor. It's definitely worth minus 3 HP to get positive armor here. We'll take Lemonade. Potato is great. Obviously, this is just a bunch of stats for us, which we want. And Bloody Hand is going to be excellent. Taking 1 damage per second doesn't matter to us. It will turn off our tardigrade, which is obviously a downside, but we don't have like Triangle of Power or anything like that, so this is just a pretty big boost to our damage and to our lifesteal as well. Do I go back to 1 armor? I think we do still need crit chance, and then I am going to take bait here. Now I think we can afford to grab it, and then I'll recycle Campfire. I'll just take 4 flat melee damage, so that gives us quite a lot of extra damage as well. We'll take Giant's Belt so that can help us kill the bosses. We'll take Lure, and we'll take Cyclops Worm, and then I will reroll. Panda for 12 max HP. I do think that will be worth it going into the final boss fight, so I'm going to lock the Panda. And we'll take the Charcoal again, just increasing my melee damage as much as possible. So I have to remember I have bait, and we don't have tardigrade, but we do at least one-shot these bait aliens, so it's not that bad. Oh, I think, I do think I made a mistake. Did I pass lifesteal after buying Bloody Hand? That's very possible. If so, obviously, I should have picked it up just for the bonus percent damage. Not that percent damage is something we really are worried about building on this character, but it's almost always right to buy it when you have Bloody Hand, buy lifesteal and you have Bloody Hand, because it's just very efficient to increase your damage. I think all the loot aliens died without me seeing, because I know we had a lure, so we should have seen at least 1 loot alien. You can sometimes get only 1 loot alien from the Jack, from a lure on Jack, because you have reduced enemy spawns, so the loot aliens are affected by enemy spawns. I'll take some additional luck, that is still useful. We'll take melee damage here. Sift's Relic, obviously not that important for this build, although we do have a cute monkey, so I think Sift's Relic will actually be better than 80 materials, just to make sure that the cute monkey is working. And then this won't give us any dodge, so we'll recycle the Chameleon. And then I'm going to roll to try to get more damage if I can. I'll just take 5% attack speed. Honestly, attack speed is the thing we need more than anything else. Take the Panda just for maxing out our HP. Mouse is a pretty big boost to our damage. Also gives us more enemies to lifesteal off of, grab Cute Monkey healing off of, and so on. So it's very useful going into the last wave. One thing you can get in trouble in the last wave is that there's just fewer enemies on the field, so it can be hard to lifesteal. And with 20% lifesteal and the mouse, it's pretty useful. Anvil would have been great earlier, obviously, but we can't afford it now. But I'll just take the helmet, just to make us quite a bit less likely to get one shot, and then roll again. And we can't afford any of these items, but let's just see what's in the shop just for fun. Alright, so we finished with 99% crit chance on the level 4 Pitchfork. These, it doesn't track how many stats we've gotten from them, but I think that we've bought something like 100% damage, so I think we've gotten about 230% damage from the Pitchforks, which is a lot of bonus damage, and obviously, at this point in the game, with our very high crit chance and our very high bonus damage, we're just one-shotting everything. So hopefully the bosses die very quickly here. Gonna try to line them up so we're hitting both of them with the same attack. I do need to be careful now because I just took a hit and could easily die, so I'm gonna back off, try to avoid dying. There we go. Sorry, I had to concentrate there because I took a bunch of hits and was actually in danger of getting one-tapped by any of the boss attacks. So I actually did have to concentrate there. That was the downside of turning off tardigrade with my bloody hand. But we made it, and we've got the Razor Blade, 5% crit chance, 4% lifesteal, minus 3% speed. That seems like a pretty powerful item. 4% lifesteal on an uncommon item is similar to Whetstone, although Whetstone has a much less severe downside. But 5% crit chance and 4% lifesteal, that's just a very efficient item to purchase. Makes it even more important to stack speed in the shop if Razor Blade exists and can give you these bonus stats. Alright, but that was Jack and Crazy. That was a fun combo. I really enjoyed that, and the bonus challenge of using the Pitchfork really made this more difficult and a lot of fun. I think that this would be very easy to do, or not very easy, because Jack is always going to be, like, there's always the potential to just get one shot on Jack, but this would be a much easier run if you did it with knives. So if you're just looking to get the win on this combo, just use knife instead of the Pitchfork. But as is, it was a really fun challenge, and I really enjoyed it. Alright, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this GMO achievement run. We are making our way through these, and of course, as always, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and like the video. Oh, actually, let me check. Yeah, we did 44,000 damage on the Giant's Belt. We did, let's see, what other economy items did we have? Because people do like to see those checked out. We got 127 healing. We got 1,000 materials from our 3 bags. Again, 3 bags. If you can do it, it's pretty good. 5 trees as well. And I don't think there was anything I picked that really worked out badly here. All of our items were very effective. Maybe the Bloody Hand was a mistake because the damage that we got from it wasn't that high, and it turned off our tardigrade, which maybe actually was more important than 40% damage. But overall, I think that this run ended up very clean, even despite me misplaying against the Wave 11 Elite, so it worked out. Alright, my friends, hope you've enjoyed the video, and of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment, like the video, that helps me out a ton with the algorithm, and you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy games. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.